Statesboro, Georgia. We just had we re-ran 3 stores yesterday. One of them was in Statesboro, Georgia, and that was the one that I was assigned to. My real role is operations support in Bi-Lo. I gave out one card, and so I said, "Oh, you manage other things." So in this day and age in the grocery business, you don't manage just one thing. You manage lots of things, and that's what I do as in operations support. I manage other net revenues, which where recycling income comes in. Other net revenue are all the things that you do in a grocery store that you make money on that's not associated with selling groceries. It might be tied to it, but it's not like selling a loaf of bread or that 12-pack of drinks. I also manage the not-for-resale procurement, and that includes the hired services piece. So we do all of the supplies, the uniforms, anything that we use to generate sales in the store, but we don't resell it. Now, it could be a packaging supply. We procure that and it will leave the store, unlike the floor mat or a teammate uniform. And then, of course, 2 years ago, they added to me sustainability, and they said, "Hey, we want somebody to drive this," and it seemed like I might have been the most passionate in the 4 walls. But what you find out is, once you start to roll out some initiatives, you'll find there are a lot of people in the business. And Bi-Lo has about 16,000 employees now that are as passionate about sustainability as you are. But what I've learned, and it really has been a learning curve for me the past couple of years, is you can be passionate about something, but doing something about it takes a whole another train of thought. And when you work with an enterprise of 207 stores that stretches across 4 states, you really have to think about, from a logistics standpoint, how do you do things and do things in a way that it makes sense. And I'm going to, just because these are in my way, I'm going to set these extra presentations here or give them to Stacey. And I'm still a little raspy, and so forgive me, I'm going to drink a little water occasionally to keep my whistle wet, as I say, and I'll have a cough drop here as well. So, without further ado, if there are no questions about my background, I'm going to tell you, I've been with Bi-Lo for 28 years. I started a long time ago. I started as a courtesy clerk, and I worked my way through college there. When I graduated from college, I went to work full-time in management. I've managed 5 stores for the company, and I've held multiple field positions with grocery specialist, loss prevention specialist, operations specialist, and then I did the industrial engineering functions for Bi-Lo. And then I rolled into the procurement side. And love it. Absolutely love it. Because how can you stay with somebody for 28 years? Anybody been here with a company for 28 years or more? So how do you do it? And the way you do it is you do things that you love. They always say if you don't want to go to work every day, just find something that you love to do, and you'll be fine. I say that I love it, but I've been able to do many different things over the course of 28 years. I didn't manage the same store. The 5 stores is different stores where I didn't do the same job for more than 5 years, and that's really helped keep everything fresh and new for me. So, Bi-Lo, you guys are going to get the first sneak peek at some things here, like what's our vision as a company, and then I'll bring out the important component to this, and those like Britain that have visited with me and people that are out there and pilot with me doing things today, they will affirm this if you talk to them. But we want to position ourselves at Bi-Lo as an environmentally concerned member of the communities in which we live and serve. However, we got to do it while remaining financially viable. What does that mean? We would love to do everything green that's out there. Man, there is a lot of stuff green. Packaging supplies that are green. There's digesters of many sorts, but this is one of the hottest ones on the market. You could just go down the list and think about all the different environmentally friendly initiatives that exist out there today. But the problem with it is they don't lend themselves to remove the equal amount of expense they would add to your business. In other words, you can't do some things if it's not financially viable. Adding expense in the grocery business is not an option. So that's what we mean by remaining financially viable. Bi-Lo today realizes a tremendous success. We just finished our, like I said, 3 remodels yesterday that gives us 24 for the year. And that's real exciting for us because just 2 years ago we were in bankruptcy, as a lot of you may or may not know. And all of our activities today are just centered around growth, and organic growth more than anything, but I hear that there could be other growth in the future. So we're financially viable and healthy. Business is great. And for those of you that live in a Bi-Lo market, we thank you for shopping Bi-Lo. That's important to us. So the next part is, once you have a vision, how do you realize that vision? You got to have some sort of a mission to get you there. So it's through innovation. That's innovation. Education and engagement of the teammates. And then of course, we have to align the finances of the company with our environmental responsibilities and the things that we want to do. And as we'll talk about later, marrying those things up has been the challenge for us at Bilo. And I think that any of you that represent a company that, like Superior Recycling, that does recycling or recover, and I don't know some of the other guys, but if you've gone in, one of the things you'll hear is, you know, how do we do this and remove the cost of, and at least have an ROI was within 3 years to do that. So, how's the rest of the food retailing industry responding? This is straight out of another presentation. So I should give it credit, but I can't remember which one it was, quite honestly. But the top part is what I've got circled because, quite honestly, even after 2 years, this is pretty much where Bilo still is today. Everybody has initiatives. Wouldn't y'all agree with that? When you go to talk to Kroger or Food Line or Publix, or take it outside, take it to the Richland County folks, everybody's got initiatives. But there's really not a coordinated strategy. That's a problem. So you're doing a little bit of this and you're doing a little bit of that, but you think, well, how do you pull it all together and consert those efforts and really make an impact in your business and in the environment, communities that you serve? But, you know, and half of the folks that are in that circle are developing strategies now, and that's truly where we are. But while you're developing that strategy, you can't sit by and do nothing. You know, so I'll talk to you about our approach and how we've implemented the things that we've done. The leaders in the industry have strategies in place today. They've identified a leader, so I guess we're kind of there. They've identified a leader in Bilo, and they're forming cross-functional teams. We don't have a cross-functional team yet at Bilo. It'll be the next thing we do, and that's going to be essential, because those of you that work in a large enterprise organization has lots of moving parts. You got to have that construction guy, you got to have that maintenance guy, you got to have that for-sale buyer all on the same page when it comes to the company's strategy relative to sustainability. The pioneers, which, you know, there are a few. SCA North America is a pioneer in sustainability, but they have job descriptions for sustainable management. They have goals and metrics in place. They're working with key stakeholders in their business. They're already educating their teammates and their customers, which education of customers is going to be difficult, but ongoing, and will take everybody's help, and then seeing bottom line results as a result of their efforts. Now, we have some of that going on, but overall, you know, I'd say we're 100% of that top block, a little bit of the other, so that means we're moving forward. Now, about 2 years ago, I stood up in front of all the operations group of Bilo and said, so what do we do while we form this strategy? What do we do while we determine how we want to move forward as an organization? And I don't know how many of you got to see the Coca-Cola sustainability report for retail. Really good report. And I took that and said, what are the things you put your thumb on right now? What do you do? Well, the first thing you do, take a look at what you do today. And that's OCC, I pointed at a baler, and stretch, plastic bags. And you say, how do you make that better? And then the next thing you do, you talk about, you have to create incentives. We're one of the few retailers left today that offers a nickel credit for a reusable bag when it's used in our stores. So that's an incentive for the customer. We also incent our teammates. We have bag expense reduction contests, and when stretch goals are achieved in our stores, the store teams and people responsible win money or win Bilo gift cards. So we have that piece. Educating. We educate our teammates through our communications, but again, not a lot of education around to the customers at this particular point. Packaging. I'll talk a little bit about packaging and how we drive that. And what you find is when you talk to people like Tyson, and that's the last one that I talk that comes to mind, you find that everybody's got sustainable initiatives. Everybody wants to reduce their footprint, if you will. And then the next thing you talk about doing in that Coke sustainability study is partner with an NGO or a non-governmental organization. Over the past 2 years, we've partnered with a lot of people. Some of those partnerships have they've run their course. We've partnered with Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We did a biodiesel program where we actually let them put collection units on our campus in certain stores. For whatever reason, they were in that about 6 months, and they had to pull it.